Hello and welcome to Homes for Lambert's YouTube channel. My name is Claire and I'm your yoga instructor today. Know that you will need no props whatsoever, so let's come to make our way onto the mat. And today we're going to start standing. So coming anywhere on your mat, just bring your feet hip distance apart. Take a moment, roll your shoulders back, get as tall as you can, really filling the entire length of your body here. Close down the eyes, take a deep breath in, and exhale, let it go from the mouth on a again. Deep breath in, fill up through belly, through rib cage. Exhale, let it go. Third, final time, deep breath in. Exhale to close down your mouth so that you begin to move into your full breath in and out of your nose. And just take a moment to settle on in. Feeling your feet connected to the floor, and you might wish to peel up all 10 toes for a moment, spread them out, and then reconnect and press down into earth. Perhaps getting a sense in your stillness of if you pitch backwards or forwards or maybe off to one side. See if you can find something that feels very grounded over your feet. Rib cage expands on that inhale, belly expands on the inhale. Take 3 more deep breaths, inhaling. Exhaling. Twice more deep breath in. Exhale, just a very slow, steady, fluid breath. Inhale. And exhale. Softly open your eyes, take a couple of blinks, and keep that nice, full, calm breath throughout today's practice. Let's start to mobilize a little through the spine. So little twists through the thoracic spine, right and left. And you can keep the gaze forward if you tend to feel dizzy, if you bring the head with you. Sometimes you can feel a little dizzy if the head starts spinning as well. So keep gaze maybe forwards, but getting right into that mid-back. And you'll see that I'm lifting up one foot and I'm bringing the hips with me today, just to make it a little sweeter onto the back, a little gentler on the back. So a little sweep right and left, just finding a little bit of invigoration into the spine. And so when we're very stationary, whether or not you're sitting at a desk, whether or not you're spending a lot of time just being indoors and watching TV even, the spine can start to feel really quite rigid. So this is a really nice thing to do. And you can do this throughout your day. Yeah, find little 5 minutes here and there just to warm up and wake up your body. Let's take 2 more. Final one. And then come back to that sense of stillness. Reconnect your feet hip distance apart. Turn your palm up, just so that you allow the body to be still after the sweeping. So just collecting yourself into your center. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. And let's come to stand at the top of a mat. So you begin to gently wake up the body. Keep your feet hip distance apart. Take a nice deep breath in. Reach your fingertips up to the sky. Feel your waist lift up and out of your pelvis. So this is your deep breath in. On an exhale, soften the knees, particularly in this first one. And give yourself the opportunity just to hang here. You're welcome to rock forwards and back if that feels good. And if your hands aren't touching the floor today, that's okay. Know that you could maybe ground the hands to the back of the legs. If you're a little higher up your forward fold. So just working with where your hamstrings are. But either way, giving yourself this opportunity to feel this lengthening through your whole back body. And then keep those soft knees, bring the hands to the shins. Inhale, send your heart forwards, your sit bones back. And then on your exhale, come into a squat. And then push to rise. Inhale, strong through the feet. Exhale, hands connect to the heart. Let's do that a couple more times. Deep breath in, lift up, rise. Deep breath out, forward fold. Hands to shins. Inhale, half lift. Exhale into squat. Again, inhale, rise up tall. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Again, deep breath in, lift up. Beginning to sync breath with movement. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, coming into that squat. To deep breath in, lift up. Exhale, bring your hands to the heart. A little bit different this time, moving a little bit more into your back bends. Take an inhale, lift for the sky. Softly bend your knees as you draw your arms down into this cactus shape. Squeeze your inner thighs together and just get a little lift right behind the heart. So it's not a huge back bend, you're not ditching into the lower back. Take another inhale and then release into what you know, forward fold. Hands to shins, inhale, lengthen. Into your squat, exhale. So hopefully this little routine's getting into the body now. Deep breath in, hands to heart. Twice more with the back bend. Inhale, we lift tall. Exhale, lift from behind the heart. Inhale, grow tall, belly button pulls into spine. Exhale, dive over your legs. To take the inhale, half lift. To take the exhale, squat. Rise up, inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart. One more time, deep breath in. Soft knees, lift. Inhale, grow tall, belly in. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to shins, inhale. Into squat, exhale. Press to stand, inhale. Hands to heart, exhale. A little bit different now. Interlace the hands and cradle the back of your skull. Use that to give you a sense of lifting and lengthening through your neck. Squeeze your thighs together. Again, take the lift from behind the heart. Push the head into the hands and then lift the heart even more. Again, push head into hands and lift heart. So you're just creating a little bit of traction with this push back into the hands to lift up with the heart center. Take one more inhale, keep firming through the legs. To exhale, slow release. Back into that forward fold. Hands to the shins, we inhale. This time, come into your exhale as you move your feet together into Utkatasana. Take a deep breath in and take the left elbow to the outer right thigh, hands together in prayer position. So you're looking like so. And if you wish, you can bring that top hand, that right hand into a fist, just again to work the traction element of pushing down to help you rotate a little bit more. Take one more deep breath in and out, lengthening that left hip crease back. To come all the way up to center, lift up. Take a hold of your left wrist. Take a side bend over to the right and take your left foot behind you at a diagonal. just to increase that lovely stretch all the way down your left side. Using the grip on the left wrist to help you lift up even more. 2, release. Bring your feet back to center and let's move through that sequence second side. Reconnect your feet hip distance apart. Interlace hands behind your head. Lengthen the back of your neck. Start to lean back, soften the knees, squeeze the thighs. Finding that traction, head into hands, heart lift. Head into hands, heart lift. Really push the head into the hands as the hands push back into the head. Take another deep breath in. Come back through that moment, that safe neutral spine, and then exhale into your forward fold. Well done. Inhale, halfway lift. We take the exhale squat, but then heel toe your feet together so that squat becomes Utkatasana chair pose. Take your twist, second side, right elbow to outer left thigh, hands press. Again, working traction, push the prayer hands together and use that to rotate. Again, option if you prefer that left fist into the hand. Feels like it gives you a little bit more to press into. 2, release, rise up. Take a hold of the right wrist up and over to the left and take your right foot into that diagonal. Onto the ball of the left foot. Right foot, sorry, the ball of the right foot. I show you here. Big lift. 2, release. Return to center. Bring your feet together. Roll your shoulders back and take a deep breath in. Exhale. Let's come into our Surya A. Hands together at the heart center. Deep breath in, sweep, circle the arms. Maybe channel that back bend just as if you had the head to the hands. So you know that feeling in your body now. And then exhale, dive over those legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Bend the knees, step back into plank. It's your exhale. Take 1 breath in here and gently lower your knees, your chest and your chin to the floor. Lengthen your legs back, your heart forwards. Inhaling, small cobra or high cobra, your back bend. And exhale into your downward facing dog. So first time that we have arrived in our practice in downward facing dog. So find your movement, pedal around with the feet, pivoting right, pivoting left, just easing in, allowing your body this extra couple of moments to open and adjust and find space. And then when you're ready, bring your feet outer hip distance apart. Soften the knees if you need to. Push into the hands. Again, it's that traction and pushing away to get all of the weight into my back body. Breath in. Breath out. Let's bend the knees and look forwards. Walk to the top of the mat. You're welcome to free the hands if that makes it easier. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, inhale, ground through the feet, lift up. Exhaling into mountain pose. Twice more. Deep breath in, lift up. Really circle those arms on the lift. There's your back bend. Exhale, soft knees, Uttanasana. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, step back to plank. Option to be on the knees. Inhale. Exhale, lower with control to the earth. Inhale, lengthen your spine, ground through your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Let it go. Deep breath out. Bend your knees once again, top of the mat, step forwards. Inhale, heart lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep to lift, little back bend at the top perhaps. Exhale, hands to the heart. One final time. Inhale, so body should be waking, should be feeling a little bit more mobile as you flow through this repetitive sequence. Inhale, heart lift. Exhale, step into plank or to the knees. Deep breath in. We lower down, deep breath out. A back bend of your choice. Inhale, just make sure neck is long. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 3 rounds of breath here on this, your last one. Inhaling. Exhale. Deep breath in. Can you hug your arms together? Deep breath out just to give you a little bit more support in the upper body. Final one. Inhale. And exhale, bend the knees. Make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Sweep to lift. Inhale again, channel that back bend. Pretend hands are behind the head. And if you wish, you can even come back to that move. Take that inhale. And then exhale, Tadasana. Take a moment, palms up, deep breath in. Just let yourself come back to a place of stillness. And already, just after just a portion of time working with your body, you feel a little bit more vibrant, a little bit more open. Let's flow to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, lift up again, squeeze the legs together, up through the chest. Exhale into your forward fold. Take a nice deep breath in, lengthen, and from here just step straight back to your downward facing dog. Shake out your head when you get there, just to make sure no tension is creeping up into the neck. And then bring your feet together, sweep the right leg to the sky, into your 3-legged dog. To gently step or place that foot in between the hands and bring your back knee down. Sweep up through your arms into the lovely crescent, low crescent lunge. And then back off your lunge. Just bring your pelvis more over your back knee if that feels okay. You can pad the back knee if you need to. Take a hold of the left wrist and take a nice side bend all the way over to the right. Breathing in space all the way down your left waist. And it is a little bit wobbly, so don't worry if you fall out of it. Just doing what you can. And release that. Come back to center. Come into that lovely back bend that we've been working with. So draw the elbows down, heart lift. Again, if you prefer the more supported version of head to hand, heart lift, you can. Nice and full breath, particularly on your inhale. And release. Come back up into neutral spine. Ground your hands down to the floor. Pick up through your back knee and start to straighten your front leg. If this isn't accessible for you, you know what to do. Yeah, come grab yourself some props, maybe blocks, maybe cushions to lift the floor away from you. Or your modification, come down onto the back knee and take this hamstring stretch here. So have a go, find something that works for you. And know that the poses, they don't need to look like everyone else's. They don't need to look like anyone that you're watching on the screen, or when you're in class, they don't need to look like any of your fellow yoga students. It's just about finding something that works for you, even if that looks a little different. But after all the back bends, this should feel really good to stretch now into the back body. Take another deep breath in. And then let's connect into our lunge just for a moment to transition, sweep that leg back, downward facing dog. Lengthen back through those heels. Again, push into earth to send your weight back. And let's take that transition, those moves onto the second side, feet together. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through. If it gets to here, pick it up and bring it all the way in between those hands, just so your knee is always over your ankle, just the safety of that knee. Let's rise up, low crescent, heart lift. To back off the lunge, hold right wrist and up and over to the left. Side body stretch. Take another breath in. Lifting up, separating that bottom rib from your pelvis. To come back to center, let's take the back bend so you could ease back into that lunge if that feels good. And then draw those elbows down, send the heart up to the sky. Good, keep fueling your body with your breath, a nice steady breath. How's the breathing doing? Are we still in and out through the nostrils? Is it still full and steady and calm? To reach down, to come into that hamstring stretch. Again, pulling back here, or if you wish, lifting that back leg and easing into this very long version of your single leg stretch. Trying to really lengthen your spine as opposed to rounding. There's no need to bring forehead to the shin, even if you can. No, it's not really going to give you anything else in your stretch. So stay with spine long. It should feel nicer and less constricted. Let's take one more breath, no matter what version you were in. And then reconnect to that lunge to transition, downward facing dog. Exhale, let it go. Let's flow through a vinyasa if you wish. Inhaling to plank, otherwise stay in dog. Exhale, lower to the floor. Hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, heart forwards. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Let's bring the feet together at the back of the mat. Sweep your right leg to the sky. Inhale, three-leg dog. Once again, step it through in between the hands. This time, come up into high crescent. Take your time, ground through your feet, reach fingertips to the sky. Good, lovely. Take an inhale. Let's sweep the arms back, start to hinge forwards into this lovely hover lunge. You have this diagonal line from crown of the head down through your torso, all the way into your back leg and heel. Strong heat is now being generated into your right buttock. Intensify it just for a moment. Stream your arms up and over your ears. Suddenly gets so much harder. Keep breathing. To bring hands to the heart center to lift up into your warrior three. So quite a lot of intensity into that right seat. Your right leg is working really hard, and we're going to release that really soon. Flex your back foot, flare out through your toes to energize that back leg. Well done, guys. Catch the lunge. There's the relief in the leg. Deep breath in. Open out, heel to arch alignment, and then you get even more relief into the front leg. Just take a moment into this active rest pose. It's a moment to settle through the breath a little. To straighten your front leg, turn your toes in so that you come into your star, and then heels in, toes out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out, Skandasana, side lunge to the left. do that a couple more times. Get it into the body. Inhale up to star. Exhale, side lunge. Again, inhale, star. Exhale, side lunge. Come back to star one final time. Deep breath in. Turn back, warrior two, deep breath out. Windmill the hands to the floor, lift up your back heel, find yourself into this fingertip lunge. Left hand to floor, lift up through that right arm, we come into the lovely lunge twist. Spiraling through the spine, pushing down into the earth with that left hand. Take a deep breath in, connect hands to the floor, we let that sequence go. Downward facing dog. If you need to take a moment into child pose before we move to the second side, then now would be the time to do that. Otherwise, of course, you're very welcome to stay in your downward facing dog. If you wish to keep moving, you can also take a vinyasa coming into plank, into your knees, chest, chin, your cobra and your dog. So wherever you are, just have a couple more breaths. So then let's meet together back into downward facing dog. Lifting through the belly. So you feel a little bit of support through your midsection. And then let's move through that sequence, second side. So feet together. Inhale, left leg lifts, up it goes. Exhale, step through in between the hands. We push through the feet to lift up through the spine. And again, still using that sense of traction. So ground down into the feet, drive your lower body into the floor so that from there you can lift up and lengthen through your spine, your ribs, your neck, your arms. Let's start to activate some of that heat into the left leg. Start to hinge forwards. As body comes forwards, push back into your back heel even more. Did you see that little move? So rather than pitching forwards, keep that intention grounding back. Whew, strong in that seat. Keep breathing. Breath might intensify. That's okay. Here come the arms either side of the ears. Reach and lengthen. Scoop your belly in to support you. To draw hands to the heart. Take your time to transition. You can even bring the back foot step by step closer in. When you're ready, lift up through that right leg. Know that if you're a little bit more at a 45 degree angle, that's okay. So when we're in this 90-degree angle, it's quite strong on that left leg. So don't worry if you're not quite there yet. Breathe wherever you are, and that's the perfect place to be if it feels good for you. Take another inhale and exhale. Here comes that release. We drop down, catch the lunge, and then open out. Warrior two. Resting here, deep breath in. And exhale. And there's something incredibly calming about warrior two. It's a very steady, steadfast, grounded pose, and a really nice pose to do if you are feeling energetically or emotionally all over the place. Let's turn into star. So we turn towards the right, heels in, toes out. Take a nice deep breath in, spread wide. Exhale, lunge into your right leg, maybe walking the feet a little further out. Again, deep breath in, star. Deep breath out, side lunge, Skandasana. Again, deep breath in, star. Deep breath out into that side lunge. A deep breath in, lift up. Turn into your warrior two. Exhale. Good. Again, taking that moment to ground down. Good. Pivot to your lunge. Bring your hands down. Fingertip lunge. Right hand to the floor. Left arm lifts. You're in your lunge twist. Take one more breath. Well done, guys. Hands to the earth. Step back, downward facing dog. Let it go. And again, you have that opportunity to stay here or to come into plank on your inhale and gently lower knees, chest and chin. Let's come through Cobra. It's your inhale, 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 and exhale, downward facing dog. Stretching through those heels, let it reach back, pressing into hands. And then let's bend the knees, step to the top of that. Take that inhale, halfway lift, and take an exhale, fold over your legs. Bend the knees, come all the way up, and exhale, release. Well done. Let's just give yourself a moment before we come down into our seated poses, just to open out a little bit through the shoulder. So take those arms behind you, interlacing through your fingers. If that feels too much, just cup your elbows. Once you have your grip, draw your arms down the back. Feel how that squeezes the shoulders and opens through the chest. And just enjoy that squeeze back. Always feels so good. Feels stiff, but it feels good. Just spreading through the toes, feel really grounded through those feet. And then just release. So the first time that you take the arms back might feel a little bit too much. So just have a moment, shake out through the hands, and then come to try it again. So you take that interlace, you squeeze and lengthen down. And then if all feels okay in the shoulders, and if you know you want a little bit more stretch, then come with me into that forward fold. I softly bend the knees. I start to draw the crown of my head towards the floor. I stay with knees bent so that it's less about the hamstrings and more about my shoulders. Squeezing my arms together, even though they might not necessarily look like anything's moving. I'm really actively hugging those upper arms together just to help me get into this stretch a little bit more. Take another inhale and exhale. Gently release the clasp to your lower back. Let your arms dangle forwards and just pause here. Let your shoulders now collapse to the floor. And then quite simply bend your knees and come into a seated position. Close down the eyes, soften the shoulders back. And take a moment as we transition away from the yang element of our practice, the fire, the complication of poses, but can we now drop all of that and sit for moments in the bhavana, what we call the feeling state. How do you feel post your practice? Just really sitting and noticing as you just let the breath and body settle. Take another deep breath in and out. To softly open your eyes. Let's take a few stretches onto our seat as part of our cool down. So extend that left leg out and cross your right thigh. It takes a little bit of fidgeting to cross right thigh on top of left leg. Yeah, so hopefully you can see that. So you have your bottom leg, your left leg into a hamstring stretch, and you have your top leg into a hip stretch. Know that this is quite intense on the bottom leg. So You might not fold forwards very much. It is quite big behind that knee. So it might be that you just pause upright and just let the body settle. And if it really does feel too much, and that's partly because you have the weight of this top leg pushing down. If it feels too much, then just simply take both legs out in front of you. Otherwise, if you're with me, soften to the best of your ability and just relax into that leg. And as you encourage your body to soften by sending the breath into all the areas that feel like they're resisting, you might just feel something starting to give a little bit in a nice way. Trying to relax through that foot, through the ankle. And you're just here for a couple more breaths. And then lift up. And let's move into the second side. Right leg out, left knee across. Maybe it feels different on this side, easier or harder. So modify depending on how it feels. Take the deep breath in. Again, maybe you lengthen forwards, maybe you stay upright. But soften and just make sure that the work and the release that's going on in the lower body doesn't move into the upper body. So just let it go. And you can close down your eyes if you wish. Or just have a very soft gaze. And the lunar section of our practice is so nice. It's very much just about letting go and just enjoying, trying to find a little bit of release into the body. Take another breath in and out. To lift up and unwind those legs. Bring your feet into hip distance stance. Take your hands behind you, fingertips point to the seat. I tend to do this pose quite a lot. It just feels so nice for me in the shoulders. So roll the shoulders back, puff the chest up as much as you can. You're literally sticking that chest up to the sky. And you just feel such a nice opening through the front of the chest and the shoulders. And those of you who are much more open in the shoulders and who feel like they need a little bit more, you can, of course, if it feels okay, lift up your seat. It does intensify the pose, and you don't need to bring the hips super high. Again, just listen to how that changes the stretch for you. If lifting the hips up too high suddenly makes it feel a little too much, then keep them dropped or stay with me, bottom floor. Take another inhale and exhale, whatever version you're in. And then release. Let's come all the way onto the back. And hug those knees into your chest. And let's move into the lovely happy baby pose. So knees are bent and feet are flexed facing the floor. Reach your elbows to your inner knee to then take a hold of the outer edges of your feet. If that's not quite accessible, You could just be in frog. It's the same movement. It's the same stretch. Same, but different. In you go. Little soothing rocks right and left. And if you're in Happy Baby with me, you can really use the elbows to gently drive into your inner knees, just to help you separate the inner thighs a little more. And perhaps if you're rocking, find stillness for a couple of breaths. To slowly release, hug those knees into the chest. Bring your left foot to the floor. Take 5 rounds of breath with your hands interlaced behind that right thigh, coming into that hamstring stretch. Deep breath in and out. If you have more flexibility, of course, you can slide the hands a little further up the leg. Otherwise, stay pretty low. If you have a yoga strap or a towel or anything to hand, you could also hook it around the foot. That's a really nice one to do. You feel a little bit more supported in the pose. Just take one more inhale and exhale on this side. And then release. Let's move to side 2. Left leg extends, up it goes. Take a hold of wherever you can. One more breath. To release, hug those knees in. And then bring your feet to the edge of your mat and bring your arms into that cactus shape that we've been working with, and start to take a very floppy leg twist, just literally dropping legs over to the left, over to the right. And then next time they come over to the right, leave them there. It's coming into this reclined twist. To come through center. And again, just cave those knees over to the left. To come back to center, and let's find Shavasana. So extend your legs out. Turn your palm up. Give yourself a nice deep breath in. And release that out of your mouth on a to close down those eyes and just give yourself this time to completely let go. Rib cage is lifting on that inhale. Belly expanding, and exhale, release. Just finding that stillness and really savoring the after effects of your practice. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Just start to find gentle movement. And reach those arms way overhead. Stretch left, stretch right. And then bring those knees into your chest. And take your time, but slowly roll over to your left-hand side. And when you're ready, come to find your way to a comfortable seat. Close down the eyes. Take a breath in. And out. Bring the hands together at the heart center and bow the head in gratitude to your practice. Thank you so much for being here today. Namaste. Thank you, my friends, as always, for joining me on this Homes for Lambeth YouTube channel. If you want to know a little bit more about what they're doing during this time, do go and check out their website, homesforlambeth.co.uk. Otherwise, once again, thank you for being here, and I very much look forward to seeing you next time. Hope you have a really nice day.